Okay, so picture this. It's 2025 and I'm having a full-blown existential crisis. Not because I can't find a decent date or because my favorite rom-com just got a terrible reboot. No, this crisis was triggered by my new smart toaster. I asked it for a lightly toasted bagel, and it replied, "Mindy, given your recent cortisol levels detected by your smartwatch, perhaps a soothing chamomile tea would be a more judicious choice for your morning repast." A toaster! A toaster was giving me life advice. That's when it hit me like a rogue algorithm update. If my breakfast appliance was this smart, what was I, a recent communications grad, supposed to do with my life? The world felt like it was sprinting into the future, and I was still trying to figure out how to properly use the self-checkout lane without summoning an attendant. This wasn't just some fleeting melodramatic moment. Well, okay, it was a little melodramatic, but it was also a very real fear. Everywhere I looked, headlines screamed about AI taking over jobs. My dad, a perfectly lovely but technologically bewildered man, kept sending me articles with titles like, "Will a robot steal your daughter's job? An investigation. Thanks, Dad." It felt like the professional landscape I had been preparing for my entire life was being completely redrawn by some invisible, hyper-intelligent crayon. The traditional career paths my parents championed, doctor, lawyer, accountant, suddenly seemed as quaint and outdated as a flip phone. I was adrift in a sea of automation anxiety, my career aspirations feeling more precarious than ever. The anxiety was palpable, a low-grade hum in the back of my mind. It was the kind of anxiety that makes you question all your life choices, like spending 4 years studying rhetorical theory when I probably should have been learning to code in Python or something equally intimidating. My friends were all feeling it too. My artist friend was worried about AI art generators. My writer friend was having a stare down with ChatGPT every morning. We were all caught in this collective uh-oh moment, wondering if our human skills were becoming obsolete. It was like showing up to a party and realizing the dress code was fluent in binary, and you were just wearing a really cute but decidedly analog floral dress. So there I was, in my tiny apartment, being gently chided by a kitchen appliance for my stress levels. It was a comically humbling experience. The toaster, with its calm, synthesized voice, was a harbinger of a new era. It wasn't just about robots on an assembly line anymore. AI was becoming this ubiquitous, almost sentient presence in our daily lives. From personalized news feeds to predictive shopping lists, it was weaving itself into the very fabric of our existence. And the big, scary question looming over my bagel-less morning was no longer AI would change the world of work, but how on earth I was going to find my place in it. After my toaster-induced spiral, I decided to stop panicking and start investigating. I mean, if you can't beat them, join them, right? Or at least figure out what they're up to so you can stay one step ahead. I started diving into what this whole AI revolution actually meant beyond the scary headlines. And honestly, it was fascinating. I learned that for every job AI might automate, it creates a whole new set of roles. Think about it. 100 years ago, there was no such thing as a social media manager or a UX designer. New technology doesn't just eliminate jobs, it fundamentally transforms the very concept of what a job can be. It was a total paradigm shift in my thinking. My research led me to some pretty cool discoveries. For example, did you know that AI is now a superpowered assistant for doctors? It can analyze medical scans with a level of detail that a human eye might miss, helping to detect diseases earlier. This doesn't replace the doctor, it just gives them superpowers. The doctor is still the one who talks to the patient, shows empathy, and makes the final call. The AI is like the super smart, slightly nerdy sidekick who does all the heavy data lifting. It's a collaborative symbiosis, a beautiful partnership between human intuition and machine intelligence. Suddenly, AI seemed less like a villain and more like a very competent, if emotionally unavailable, intern. This idea of collaboration started popping up everywhere. I read about lawyers using AI to sift through thousands of legal documents in minutes, a task that would take a team of paralegals weeks. This frees up the lawyers to focus on the stuff that really matters, building a case, arguing in court, and presumably wearing those cool courtroom outfits. It's about augmenting human capabilities, not replacing them. Imagine a graphic designer using an AI tool to generate a dozen different logo concepts in seconds, then using their own creative genius to refine and perfect the best one. It's about working smarter, not harder, and letting the machines handle the grunt work. The fear started to melt away, replaced by a burgeoning sense of excitement. This wasn't an apocalypse, it was a glow-up. The world of work was getting a major upgrade, and I could be a part of it. The key wasn't to compete with AI on its terms, because let's be real, I'm never going to be able to calculate PI to a million decimal places. The key was to lean into what makes us human, our creativity, our critical thinking, our emotional intelligence, and our ability to tell a toaster that, no, we want the bagel, thank you very much. The future wasn't about being replaced, it was about being enhanced. Okay, so once I embraced the idea of AI as my new work BFF, I fell down a rabbit hole of all the bizarre and amazing new jobs it's creating. Forget doctor or lawyer. The new cool careers sound like they came straight out of a sci-fi movie. My absolute favorite is the AI prompt engineer, or as I like to call them, prompt whisperers. These are the people who are masters at talking to AI. They craft the perfect questions and commands to get the most creative, accurate, and useful responses from language models like ChatGPT. It's a job that is part poet, part programmer, and part psychologist. You have to understand nuance, context, and tone to coax the genius out of the machine. It's literally a career in conversation. Then there are the AI ethicists and bias detectives. This is a super important one. AI is trained on data created by humans, and, spoiler alert, humans are a messy, biased bunch. So these professionals are like the internal affairs department for algorithms, making sure that AI systems are fair, transparent, and don't perpetuate harmful stereotypes. They ask the tough questions like, is this hiring algorithm biased against women? Or is this facial recognition software less accurate for people of color? It's a job that requires a deep understanding of technology, but also sociology, philosophy, and justice. It's about embedding our values into the code that will shape our future. And it gets even more wonderfully weird. I read about a company hiring robot therapists, or more formally, human-machine interaction specialists. As robots and AI become more integrated into our homes and workplaces, as companions for the elderly, for example, we need people to help design their personalities and ensure the interactions are smooth, helpful, and not, creepy. Can you imagine? Your job is to teach a robot how to be a better listener, or to have a more reassuring presence. It's a complete fusion of technology and psychology, ensuring our future robot overlords are at least polite and considerate roommates. The list just goes on and on. There are data storytellers who turn boring spreadsheets into compelling narratives, AI trainers who teach models specialized skills, and automation managers who oversee entire ecosystems of AI and human workers. What all these jobs have in common is that they are uniquely human. They require creativity, empathy, critical thinking, and complex problem solving, the very skills that machines struggle with. The future isn't about us all becoming coders. It's about finding new ways to apply our innate human talents in a world supercharged by technology. Suddenly, my communications degree didn't seem so useless after all. So after my journey from toaster-induced terror to AI career fangirl, what's the big takeaway? Is my dad going to stop sending me ominous articles? Probably not. But I've come to a much more optimistic and frankly more realistic conclusion. The future of work isn't a dystopian movie where we're all unemployed and living on nutrient paste. It's more like a really ambitious group project with a super intelligent new team member. There will be some awkwardness, some challenges, and a definite learning curve. But ultimately, if we handle it right, the results could be amazing. The nature of work is changing, but the need for human ingenuity is not. The key to not just surviving but thriving in this new era is adaptability and a commitment to lifelong learning. This sounds like something a guidance counselor would say, but it's true. The idea of learning one skill and coasting on it for 40 years is over. We have to become perpetual students, constantly updating our skills, learning how to use new tools, and staying curious. It's about being nimble and open-minded. Maybe you're an accountant who learns to manage an AI that automates your bookkeeping, or a journalist who uses AI to analyze data for an investigative story. It's not about abandoning your passions, it's about finding new and powerful ways to pursue them. Of course, it's not all sunshine and robot sidekicks. There are real challenges we have to address, like making sure everyone has access to the training they need to transition into new roles. We need to think about the social safety nets for people whose jobs are displaced, and ensure that the benefits of AI are shared broadly, not just concentrated in the hands of a few tech giants. These are big, important conversations we need to have as a society. But these are problems to be solved, not reasons to give up and let the robots win. Facing these challenges head-on is part of building a better, more equitable future of work. In the end, I did get my bagel, and as I ate it, I realized my smart toaster hadn't been trying to stage a coup, it was just trying to help. AI is a tool, a powerful and transformative one, but still just a tool. It's up to us to decide how we use it. We are the architects of this new world. We can choose to be afraid of the future, or we can choose to be excited by the incredible possibilities it holds. So yes, the world is changing at a dizzying pace. But armed with our creativity, our empathy, and a healthy dose of curiosity, we're more than ready for it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go teach my toaster about the profound, non-negotiable joy of a carb-loaded breakfast.